Today I'll be installing a ceiling fan in my daughter's room. I've taken down the existing light already, so this is knob and tube wiring, which will be replaced upstairs. We'll get to that part. So the knob and tube wiring, I just cut it off right here. I turned off the circuit in the basement, so there's no power going to these wires right now. And I went up in the attic, and you can see that the joist right between the two knob and tube wires. So I've traced the pattern of the box up there. Now, the box is one of the only things that doesn't come with it. And then after I've traced this, I need to go and cut all the way. So, and I've made it so that it's as easy as possible. I've got the lathe material right here. I have to cut through this one, but on this side I won't even have to cut a piece of lathe. Put my collar back here. I'm just going to cut through here. Most of you won't be working with plaster, so you'll have a drywall ceiling. It's a lot easier to cut, actually. I'm going to go ahead and trade my mask in for some safety glasses, because mask does not keep dust out of your face. So I did not need to pre-drill because I used the existing hole to start. And the plastic crumpled a little bit over here. I have a couple of screw holes that I'm going to need to patch anyway, so I'll go by with some drywall mud and some drywall if necessary to patch this up. You can see right here's the joist. And this is just loose now. These are no longer have any power. I assemble all the tools I need in one bucket, and then I'm going to take them up to my attic through the crawl space. This attic is it's not a nice space, so currently I already have a wire here. This one's not hooked into the panel, but it goes down to the panel right now, so when I'm done I'll hook that in. So there's no power on that right now. The hole in the ceiling is right here, and there's the box I'm going to be using. You can see it's got the side so I can just screw it directly on. On the bedroom that I'm working on right now does not have any modern circuitry. That's why I'm running this new one. And the box has to fit down inside the hole. I'm going to have to cut this piece of lathe out. And I just took this knob and tube wiring. This is the knob of the knob and tube. It's just in the way at this point. It's just garbage. And now this guy here, he should be flush with the ceiling that's below. I'm going to take him and screw him in here. Before I do that, I'm going to punch the hole for my wiring that's going to go through. Oh, I did it already. Need a wire lockdown nut for that. Here, this is 14 gauge wire. This is 14-2, which means it's got 3 wires in it. One of them is ground, one's a neutral, and one's a hot wire. And I've just kind of pulled it so it's not taut, because you always want a little bit extra in your wire. You don't want to yank it all the way to its maximum length, because you can't stretch the wire if you cut it too short. And I'm just going to cut right through there. I need a switch, so I've started to push my wire down through that. So the wire is going to connect to the switch down there. So 2 of the 3 wires will be used in it. One wire will hook up to the hot here. So both wires on that will be hot if the switch is turned on. But this is an old push button switch, so I'm going to undo the very bottom screw, or top screw, I'll hold it in. These other 2 screws are what hold the wires in. In this case, the way they wired it was one of the knob and tube wires runs along this stud, and the other one runs along this stud. I'm no longer going to use those. Unfortunately, with knob and tube wiring, I can't just pull this wire through, because they would have had tacked it down with a knob here and maybe 2 of them, so it's not going to pull through there. since both those wires were coming through the top of the box, it appears that they're not coming from down in the first floor. There's one of the wires right there, and it follows up to this joist to that side. The other one is this one that we were following. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is, I know the wire's going to come from up here, so I may just clear it some up here and pull one or the other wire out of there and just clip the other one off, and then try and fish it through. I'll be able to see it easily here, and I'll just do a drywall patch right here. Okay, this is cleared out enough to get one of the wires loose. Okay, back up here, and I've marked the wire approximately the distance that I need to get it in, so I'll know when I'm in far enough. I was going to shove them through here and see how easy it is, and see if I have to go get any other extra tools. Okay, I think it's in there far enough. Let me go downstairs and check. Okay, I've gone back upstairs, and I see now that one of these guys is coming to the switch from the power across the roof, across the ceiling line, going down in here, actually through this, along this joist right here, or this stud, and then the other one that feeds back up is running along this side of this stud, and they both come in through the stud here, so neither one of them are right up above. I'm going to go ahead and open this wall up, and my new wire will come down through here, and I'll cut this way, and I'll put it in. I'll just do a little drywall patch. To get my hole started, I just took my chisel and punched right through the wall. So my wire is not anywhere between these two studs. I went back up and looked, because I know I measured it should be about this far over right here, but it's not even up to the stud. So what happened was, instead of the wire coming down this wall, it just followed. It's too dark for you to see, but there's an angled ceiling right here. Just followed the dormer down. So I'm going to go upstairs, and I'm going to drill a hole at the top of the wall, drop the wire straight down. So there's the wire that heads down with the power, and there's the wire that comes back up with the power. And you can see that it's not going down into that chase there. This is the top of the wall. So I'm going to put a hole right here so that I'm in the same wall. So, of course, my battery is dying. Listen. So, these are the great things. Like, see, when you're do-it-yourself or you're at home, things just, you just gotta redo things all the time, figure things out as you go. But it's all worth it in the end, because you wind up saving a lot of money, you get a lot of satisfaction out of it, and you know, whatever. So you make mistakes and you do better the next time. Okay, let's finish this up. Well, that's better. I'm looking a little bit worse for wear, I noticed. I drilled another small, little tiny hole. I can't see it now, about 6 inches out, to see where it came out through in the room. And I can see now that I was in the right place. So I went to see if I could go 4 inches in, and sure enough, as soon as I did, I got through. Then I sent this wire easily through, and about a foot more than what I should need. Okay, if you don't have a fishing line, take your bicycle flag. That's what I'm using right now, and it is in there plenty far. So let's head downstairs and see how we did. Oh, look what I see. I don't even have to feel for it. How nice. And I'm going to pull this wire through pretty far, because I've got to still put it through that wall where the old knob and tube wire was. Alright, the wire's through there, and I just pulled out the wire that went through here and here, so now there's a hole in the wall there. I'm going to push this guy through. So I'm just going to push him right there, and I put a screw in there. Knock everything over. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this switch in. Alright, I do have a actual casing wire stripper. Many advise not to use a blade. This one is not retractable, you know, just use in case of emergency. But just if you have a retractable one, just have just barely the tip of it out. just slice the edge of it, and it peels back on you. You don't have to cut the whole thing. So then I'm going to cut off the excess of that, cut off the paper, take and strip my wires. It's my wire stripper. About 5/8 down is what they recommend, 1/2 inch to 5/8. You have to wrap it around the screw of the switch. I'm going to take my wires, my needle nose pliers, and just curve them so they go around the screw. This can be grounded to the box, but this is the switch, so there's power coming in and power going out. This is really not necessary in this operation, but I'm going to go ahead and ground it to the box. Because this wire is bringing hot current in through here, and when switched on, it's hot current in here also. I'm going to get a Sharpie. I'm going to code this hot. If you ever see a wire, if you take it apart, your wall or switch, and see a wire's marked like this, means it's got juice. So one lead goes in, one lead goes out. When you push the button, you complete the circuit. You shouldn't have any more than 1 inch of casing in here, so if you got too much in, I'm going to push some up in. And then once I do, I'm just going to bend these two wires in like a Z to make them fit in there nicely. It's always nice to have some extra wire in the wall if you're going to make changes. Again, as I've said a few times, you can cut wire, you can fold wire, but you can't grow wire. So 2 screws that were holding it in, so I didn't lose them, I put them in there, so I'm just going to pull them out, and then I'll push the switch in and screw it down. This box is grounded to the other box, that box is grounded, so it's all grounded. Had a hard time getting my light switch cover back on. I actually had to pull back on the trim a little bit. Let's put the screws in for my switch cover. Yeah, and you never ever should have wires connected anywhere in your house that are not inside a junction box. That is something I see frequently when I'm doing home repairs. You know, you don't have enough wire, so you just cut some and put some more in. That is a great way to burn your house down. Alright, I've taken the casing off. Now I'll go ahead and strip the wires. So just strip each one of these. You should have 4 to strip. A little more off this one. And here's the 4th one. On the one coming in a switch, again, we're going to code the white one hot, so that anybody who gets into this in the future knows that that's a hot wire. Got the black, blue, and the white marked hot coming from the switch together. The 2 whites together. The 2 blacks together, because one of those is hot and the other one's going to the switch. And then the greens and the coppers are grounds. I'm going to use some electrical tape to secure them. Alright, got to take the power box cover off. 6 screws. Take them off. This wire right here is the one that goes up to the attic. So he's got to go into another circuit, which I believe I've got another breaker. Alright, with the new wire in, power on, and I will have to add that to my list over here. I'd already had it written open wire to attic planned for 2nd floor, and just added a note there, the ceiling fan is on that. I did not have an actual breaker in there before, so in the box I have to snap out this piece, it just bends out and then it'll throw it away. Panel cover back on.